Hello, this is Richard, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to fill out this survey. This quick little video is just going to give you an overview of the layout and the logic of the survey. The first thing I want to point out is that in the upper right hand corner of every page there'll be a glossary link. If you click on that link, it'll bring up a list of definitions of each of the different types of competitive capabilities. This is important in case you're unsure what is meant by some of the competitive capabilities, and also so that everyone has the same definition to work from. The next thing I want to point out is that after you fill out the first page of the survey, you can save and continue your progress later. If you click on the blue bar at the top, you can then enter in your email and click Save. Then you'll be emailed a link with all of your progress saved up to that point. Okay, so let's look at the first question. The first question asks, with regard to the overall competitiveness of the Canadian cabinet industry, rank the following types of competitive capabilities from most important to least important. So I'm just going to drag and drop these major types of competitive capabilities according to how I think they are important to the industry. Alright. Now the next question asks, looking at your ranked items above, how much more does 4 contribute to the overall competitiveness than 5? So 4 and 5 are in regards to the ranked list above. So in this case, the question becomes, how much more does customer service and marketing contribute to the overall competitiveness than delivery? Now, if I think they're equally important, then I can click this button here. If I think if I think customer service and marketing is moderately more important than delivery, I can click this button. And then the other options are strongly, very strongly, and extremely more important. Now, the next question is very similar. It asks, how much more does 3 contribute to the overall competitiveness than 5? So in this case, I am asking, how much more does flexibility and innovation contribute to the overall competitiveness than delivery? And I can fill out my answer there. So these questions follow in sequence, with the lowest ranked item being the common referent for each pairwise comparison. Alright, and I can click next when I'm finished. And then it'll bring up another slightly different type of question. In this question, it asks, which competitive capability has more influence on low operating cost and how much more influence? So the first thing I need to do in this question is I need to pick which of the 2 competitive capabilities has more influence on low operating cost. So let's assume that I think conformance quality is more important or has more influence than skilled labor for low operating cost. Then I look at the left side of the scale here, the side that's closest to the competitive capability which I think is more important. So if I think it's moderately more important, then I can click this button, strongly, very strongly, and extremely more important. If I think they're equally important, I can just click the middle button there under equally. Now, if you're a little confused about how these different competitive capabilities may be related, you can click on the link and it'll bring up a description of how the relationship may exist. And the same thing for skilled labor. As always, there will be a glossary link in the upper right hand corner with all the definitions. Alright, so I'll just quickly fill up the rest of the questions. And the important thing to notice here is that The only thing that's changing are the different competitive capabilities that are being pairwise compared. Okay, they're always in reference to the same competitive capability. In this case, low operating cost. Now, low operating cost can also be found in the upper left-hand corner of the page. So just fill out all the answers, and then when I'm done, just click Next. Now, this page is very similar type of question, except for now we're comparing two different competitive capabilities in regards to performance quality. So the format of the survey is very similar to this. There's either going to be the ranking type question that we showed in the first part, or there's going to be a pairwise comparison type question, which is the type of question that you see here. I hope this helped, but if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to email or call me. Thank you very much.